Hello and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So today we're taking a look at the updated Ranger build. So this is a pretty big upgrade from the first Ranger build I brought to you guys, which I hope you enjoyed. I very much enjoyed playing with it. But this build is pretty much geared towards end game, level 25, and doing content from there. So without further ado, let's dive in, shall we? So, this is where we're going to be starting off, as always, Ranger Tree, because we are a Ranger. So we're going up into Marksman, Sharpshooter, Skill Shot, Multi-Shot, and Ranger. Do you remember Multi-Shot uses multiple arrows, so arrows you own, so you will be losing quite a lot very quickly. So just be sure to take a lot of stacks with you when you go out and do stuff. We've just popped a point down here, so get some more extra dexterity. We are not going into any spell casting. But what we are going into is healer, because we're made out of cracker bread and wishes. We are very weak, especially to start off with, so we're going to be grabbing this full tree here, down to water aura into waters of life. And next to it, as you can see here, we're grabbing blink as well, and emergency blink, so if we get stunned, we can still dodge out of it, and also blinking's cool. I quite enjoy it. So there we go. And I would suggest after that, before going into the melee side, picking up Strength, Jump Attack, Double Jump, Jump Attack 2, Runner, and Endurance. This will just help you get around the game. Double Jump is very, very good for getting into those hard to reach places. You don't have to go for this now, you can go for this last if you really want to, but that's just my suggestion. Then next, we are going to grab Power Parry, Merciless Attack, down into Shiny Plates for a little bit more armor. Then we begin grabbing Evasion Attack, Battle Heal, and then we're going to be jumping over to the Warrior Tree. For Constitution, the Warrior's Path. This is going to weapon damage increased by 10%, just a flat 10% increase. Then into Slasher for another 10%, and then into Butcher for 20%. Veteran, and then Swift Blades. Using this route here, you are locked into using only swords and axes, but that's fine, because they're cool. And then we're grabbing the Constitution points and Strength points around here, just to beef us up a little bit more. And then we're going to be coming over here into the Barbarian Tree. We're going to be grabbing Strength, Heavy-Handed. We want this one. An enemy's stun bar is increased by additional 20% when attacking into their block with a melee weapon. We really want that because we want to be breaking block. Strength, Constitution, Breach for breaking some more block, and then into Shockwave. And this is just going to be more melee damage and more parry and block breaking. It's all good. Lovely, 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 all good. So, that's generally what the skill tree is going to look like. Sorry. Oh, I did forget to mention this part. Ever so sorry. Shiny Plates into Evasion Attack and Battle Heal. Battle Heal, when dealing critical damage with a melee weapon, you will heal 5% of your maximum health. Now, this talent is going to complement our Ring of Endless Life amazingly. Because this Ring of Endless Life, it says 3% life leech chance. That is not a 3% chance to leech 3%, that is a 3% chance to leech 100% of your damage. And because we've buffed up that damage massively, you'll be going to be leeching a lot of damage. So, with that, and the healer, and the ring, that's going to help keep us alive a lot more. This is a very weird Ranger build, I agree with you there. I've seen other people build kind of like this, but they go a lot more into magic, and I'm just not into magic on this. You know, I have my Archmage build for that. I want this to be Strider. You know, we're going to be Aragon. We're using a bow, we're using a sword. That's it. If you really wanted to, and you had the spare points, you could probably go up to Sniper to get some more crit chance. But other than that, all of these are not great. Mostly because you will not see a exploding arrow until the end game at this point. You will not see one until at least level 20. And that's a lot of points to sink in to getting an arrow like 60 hours into the game. And not only that, they're ridiculously expensive to make. And I can't be bothered. I've tried to make them, I've tried to play with them, and I almost don't want to fire them. So that's why the assassin tree is now out, and the melee trees are in. So let's have a look at what we're using for armor. I'm trying this out because, well, the chest plate I wasn't happy with. And to be honest, I'm not really liking that. So what we can do is we're going to equip that. So the chest plate, I've gone for health and stamina instead of stamina and health. Because, as I said before, we are quite weak. Everything else, deerstalker hood, eagle eye gloves, eagle eye trousers, eagle eye boots. If you wanted to, you could use the entire eagle eye set. I just don't like the helmet. It looks a bit weird. So we're going for the weird harlequin-y looking hat. As for the chest, I just want the health. And for the rings, Ring of Endless Life, Ring of Stamina. These pair up quite nicely because they keep us alive and also they keep us dodging. And for our melee weapon, we are using, our melee shield, sorry, the Ethereal Plane. It gives us slightly less block than a shield, but it does give us 10% shroud resistance. And at the end game, shroud resistance is quite important because everything's going to be chucking stuff at you. So that's the armor. Let's have a look at the weapons. So as for the weapons, there are several choices, and I've kind of narrowed it down to this. I prefer the ignited bow for run and gun action, or if I'm in a safe spot, the wolf snarl longbow to snipe. Never use the longbow if you're trying to run and shoot, because it has a 1 second draw time, and by the time you get a shot off, you will have taken a spear through the face. So the ignited bow, not only does it have a 0.6 draw time, it also has a 20% arrow speed increase, and it is full of increased damage, apart from the Head Seeker, which restores stamina. So we're getting plus 15 fire damage, 5% crit, and 5 stamina restored on headshot. You could also try the Wildwood Shortbow. Piercing damage, shroud damage, increased crit, and then leech mana. The only difference between the ignited bow and the Wildwood Shortbow is the arrow speed. It's not a huge difference, but it could be the difference between life and death. It's all up to you, really. I was trying out the Shadow Bane, but it's got 3 nodes on it that are completely pointless to us. Like, Vicious increases backstab damage by 20%. If you're playing solo, you will never get backstab damage. Everything is going to be coming straight at you head on. And because we're not using any real magic, leech on hit for mana, pointless. So I would say it's a toss-up between the ignited bow and the Wildwood Shortbow for your shortbow needs, and for your sniping bow, a nice Wolf Snarls longbow. So whichever one of those, choose it, try it out, see what you think. And as for melee, at the moment I'm trying out the Ice Blade just because it has 10% increased crit chance to proc that healing, and it has increased ice damage and an increased cutting damage. I do have an axe on my bar, but that axe is only for breaking boxes, so I don't have to use my melee weapon to do it, as I do tend to smash everything and loot everything. And now, as a final part of this build, instead of going through, oh, look at how good at playing I am, look at all the kills I'm getting, no. I'm going to show you exactly where to go to find all the loot I've just shown you. So, we are down here, and down here is the Sun Temple. To get here, you will need to come from the Ancient Spire, come down here, and come along here. I know it's difficult because it's all blacked out. I have got guides on the channel showing you exactly how to get these, so if you want an in-depth guide to that, go check those out. But I'm going to show you in here what we do. You smash that window, you come in, you kick the chest open, and you get a weapon. If it's blue, it's poo. So salvage it. Everything else, keep, see what you like. And all you have to do is reset the game, so log out, and come back in. Just make sure you've got a flame down here that you can spawn to. So that is how you farm gear incredibly easily. And also that is the range build. So I do hope you enjoy it, folks. If you do, please like, subscribe, ring that little bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And if I've missed anything, or if you have any questions, please do feel free to ask them down in the comments. And until the next one, take it easy, and I shall see you later.